All right, famed economist, brilliant man, if there ever was one, Ben Stein is here to react. Great to see you again, Ben. Let's talk specifically about some of the imbalances, because you and I are both free traders. You may be more so than I, but there are some imbalances that need to be addressed, particularly in the NAFTA countries. You look at a map of Canada, U.S., and Mexico. Canada has the lowest tariff rates against goods. It comes in at 0.8%. The United States, 1.6%. But look at Mexico, 4.4%. That's 3 times higher tariff rates than we do. Things have kind of slipped there since NAFTA started.
Yeah, but it's not really a problem for us because we're all still selling them an incredible amount of agricultural produce. And the idea that we're going to gain by having a trade war is just simply a mistake. You know, there's a very famous saying, which is that most politicians are the servants of long-dead economists. Yeah. And long-dead economists from like the 18th century in France believed that it was very, very important to not import import more than you export. It doesn't matter. We can export all we want. We can import all we want. None of that matters. In the long run, it all evens out. And Mexico is a very, very valuable trading partner. We don't want to step on their toes.
You're not alone, even among some folks in the Trump administration. I mean, we had Larry Kudlow on. He said, I really don't like using the metric of trade deficits in order to figure out what kind of trade policies we have. On the other hand, he said you got to do something about the way people are lying and cheating and stealing. And you look at the theft that China is having in terms of our intellectual property, the lies that they come. Nobody trusts. You don't trust the stats that are coming out of China. And then, of course, they cheat. They cheat even though they're a member of the World Trade Organization. They cheat. So if you're going to have free trade, you got to adhere to the rules of the trade. You have to have laws and rules, and if rules are broken, it has to be addressed. The question is how.
But we're not talking about Mexico breaking the rules about technological.
Oh, they break rules too. Ben, I covered, as you know, I covered Mexico for 12 years. They break all kinds of rules.
But not the technological issues, which are the ones you just brought up. That's China's specialty. We need to sell to Mexico every possible kernel of corn we possibly can. If they are violating technological issue treaties and laws, then we need to address that too. But
well,
just to take
drugs.
them on and say, look, they do on prescription drugs.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the drug situation with Mexico is so horrible; it's beyond belief. But I mean, that's a whole chapter. That's a whole.
But beyond the illegal drugs, they break them on prescription. My point is, you and I both.
Yes.
You and I both don't really care for tariffs. I think they're a tax. You think they're a tax. So we don't like them. They hurt the U.S. consumer. Is there a way other than tariffs, for example, quotas, to focus in on those companies that are breaking the rules?
Why have any kind of restrictions at all? If we can sell to them, let's sell to them as much as we can. And if they want to sell us things cheap, fine, let's buy things cheap.
But if they're stealing our property, we got to do something about it, Ben.
If they're stealing intellectual property, that's a whole different matter. Yeah. That's a whole different matter. If they're stealing intellectual property, that has to be addressed to a court of law or through international courts of law.
What about quotas instead of tariffs? Does it make any difference to you one way or the other?
I don't think it makes any difference one way or the other. Quotas are incredibly difficult to figure out on any kind of product or service, by the way. And by the way, we have a huge surplus with Canada when it comes to services like selling insurance. We cannot pick fights with them and niggle and
I don't know. We got to deal with them. Everybody agrees NAFTA needs revision, so there is going to be some kind of discussion.
NAFTA needs revision, but we love NAFTA. NAFTA has basically been a very good thing, and it was basically a Republican idea in the first place. NAFTA is a great idea if we can get, your point well taken, get the technological issues taken care of, but then let's sell them everything we possibly can, and let's buy their goods cheaply, inexpensively, and let's get their fine labor force up here, not the criminals, not the drug dealers, but they have many, many good fine people
as the president said, change immigration rules to one where we get people in who can actually help our economy, people who are good bricklayers, people who are good doctors, the people who we really are in need of, rather than this crazy lottery system that we have now.
Absolutely. Look, I live in Southern California. I think you're very familiar with the area yourself. We know we could not live without Mexican immigrants. We could not live without skilled Mexican labor, which we get at a much lower price than skilled American labor. Let's let those people come in. Let's, of course, vet all the people coming in as carefully as we possibly can. But let's not put up a wall. Let's not try to.
The point is, you got to have borders, but that's a whole other issue. Ben Stein.
Absolutely. Borders make a country.
They're giving me and you the hook. Ben, great to see you, my friend. Thank you very much.